Welcome to Colony Party Clinic. We have recently updated our menu options. If you know your party's extension, press 1. For appointments or medical questions, press 2. Thank you for choosing Colony Party. This is Tracy. How can I help you, please?
Hi, I wanted to make an appointment.
Is this just to get established with her, or are you having a specific problem?
I'm wanting to kind of just get a checkup and discuss fertility.
Okay. Okay, well, the first visit is $438.25. That has to be paid up front.
Okay.
Then it is for each office visit after that goes to $200.
Okay.
And your race, honey?
I'm sorry?
Your race?
Oh, white. Hello. So it is currently Tuesday, June 4th, 2:38 p.m. We are headed to the doctor. I'm going to see an OBGYN today, gynecologist, for the first time. I've never been to a gynecologist before. So I'm going because, first of all, I need to go, but really what it's for is we're trying to get pregnant, and we've been trying to get pregnant for a couple of years now, and I've never talked about that on my channel, but that's what this video is about. I still, at this moment, do not know when I'm going to post this. I don't know if I'll post it whenever I'm pregnant. I don't know if I'll post it before that and kind of show a little bit of the journey. I don't know. I haven't shared this journey literally with anybody, even in my life, other than immediate family, and obviously Manny's on this journey with me, but we're both in this journey, so obviously he knows. But immediate family, and then Krista is the only people that I've shared it at all with in any way. Actually, another person, because somebody had a word that God had given them for me, and it pertained to that, and I had to tell her because it was a word that she'd been given, and she didn't ask, but I kind of had to say, yeah, that was for me. It was about infertility, and which I'm not calling it that. I know that that's what it's called after a year of trying to conceive and failing to. It's considered medically infertility, but I don't call it that because I'm not going to claim that. What? Hang on. So anyway, God has spoken a lot of words about this to me. He's through other people, and then just to me directly. God has spoken to me about this situation, and that we're going to have a baby. I have seen a baby. It's always been a little girl in my dreams. I think it might have been a boy one time, but in my dreams it's always been a little girl, and she has the name that we've picked out for a little girl, and she looks just like I would imagine that she would look, and it's very detailed, and I've just had I really believe that that's a vision that God had given me. I really believe He's been giving me these little pieces of encouragement, because this has honestly been one of the most discouraging seasons of my life. I can honestly tell you that, and that's why I'm recording this, because I know, I'm going to look back and I'm going to be on the other side of it, and I don't want to forget what it was like to be here, because I think when you forget the test, you don't realize what an incredible testimony you have. And so that's what I want to do, is kind of record the testing moments, and not just record the highlight reel, because that's not real and nobody likes that. So I'm going to record it. I will post it at some point. I'm just trying to decide when. I want people that are close to me to know what's going on. I mean, obviously it's not like, anything like severe is happening to me, but I just want people to know kind of what's going on before I just share it with everybody. So anyway, yeah, we're pulling up to the doctor. We're going to kind of get things figured out. I'm just starting at an OBGYN and see what happens there, see if she has any recommendations for me. And I've never been to one, so I've never had things that you need to get as a woman from an OBGYN, so I need to do that anyway. I don't know if she'll do that today, but I'm thinking she probably will. So I needed to go no matter what. I mean, even if I had already gotten pregnant or wasn't trying, so I needed to be checked out. So that's what we're doing, and I'll update you. Okay, so it's later in the day. Well, actually, it's nighttime. But I wanted to update you on my appointment today really quickly. I'm trying to make this too incredibly long because I'm going to be saving these clips for this video, and I don't want to have all my space taken up. I don't know how I'm going to save them yet, but anyways, so The appointment went great. I really love my doctor. Manny went in there with me. She was amazing. I'm just so excited. I know that I'm going to be pregnant, and I know she's going to be my doctor, and I feel really blessed because I really liked her. She, was saying things like, you don't need this kind of testing, so I'm not going to order that for you because I don't think you need it at all, and it's just going to cost money that you don't need to pay, and like all this kind of stuff. So we recently also got on MediShare, which is a Christian like medical bill type of thing. It's an insurance, it functions as insurance, but it's not actually considered insurance. I can go into that in a different video. But obviously, like a lot of fertility things are not covered through anything, so she was very good about that. And basically, she said that on paper and all of that, my body looks like it's functioning perfectly. And she did do an exam on me. She did a pap smear, all of that. My first one, which by the way, it was not bad. It's definitely going to be a lot of a girl video, but it was not bad at all. That's all I'll say about that, but it was not bad. Like, don't be concerned if you haven't had one, because I hadn't had one yet. So anyways, it was a great appointment. She basically checked me out. She said that what she said was like, my body is like a textbook, for good, like the perfect anatomy type of thing. Like she said, everything's functioning the way it should be. Everything's great. She's going to have Manny get tested. And she said that could be an issue. She said that's not uncommon at all. Which I know it's not. She was kind of laughing because Manny and I have both, but I love to study things. So I've studied, and Manny does too, but obviously I love to study like pregnancy and all of that. And he's actually studied as well about like certain things, treatments and stuff. And so she said she was really surprised by how much we already knew about it. And I always joke with my sister about how I'm already a doctor because I watched like Grey's Anatomy, like just being goofy. So I had to text her about that. But she said she was surprised by how much I knew already, how much we knew already. And she was like glad. She said it's a good thing you're educated. I'm not like bragging about how much I know. Like I'm obviously not a doctor, but I do like to educate myself. I think it's important to not just listen to what somebody says. So anyways, she said she wants Manny to get checked out. She actually wrote like an order for that. And he's going to be going and doing that. And then she said that really the prognosis that she gave us was, first of all, even if there's a problem, that does not mean that you cannot get pregnant even naturally. My body's functioning the way that it should be, and it is still possible to get pregnant naturally. Also, I wanted to show you, today is actually ovulation day for me, or at least I assume it'll be today, maybe tomorrow. But this is a test that I got this morning. Obviously, it's like a different color because it's getting a little bit older, but you can see that the test line over here on this side is darker, which means definitely positive. And same thing from tonight. It's darker. I mean, it was even more like obvious when it was actually the right color. But anyway, those are both ovulation tests. I use these tests that are just from Amazon, cheap, because they work, and you go through a lot of these. Okay. It is July 7th, 2020. So it's the next year from the last clip that you saw. In the last clip, I just went back and watched it, and I was so, hopeful because the gynecologist had said like, oh, maybe just an IUI is all it'll take and it'll work, and so I kind of just thought, well, that's it, we figured it out, here we go. And then Manny did his semen analysis, and we went back and we'd done one at home before, and it said it was low. But I spent a lot of the beginning of this in denial that there was anything going on. So, we went back to the doctor, and I didn't film my raw response, and I wish I had, but I just couldn't even hardly like function at that time. But we went back and went to the gynecologist, and she brought somebody in, like a girl that was training or something. she brought him in, and like you see on like Grey's Anatomy and things like that, where they're like training people and they just come in with them. She came in at like the most awkward time, you know, to have some random person in there. But anyway, the gynecologist came in and said that the semen analysis came back that it was low, and we kind of thought that it was, but it came in at 60,000 per cc, which is extremely low. About 30 million is about right, maybe even like low end of right, you know. And so it was clear something was going on, and she told us that IVF with ICSI would probably be our only option as far as conceiving, but that we could go see a urologist. So we left that appointment, and I've always watched people that have done IVF. You know, I'd always watched people, you know, such incredible and strong people that did it, but I never imagined that it would be my story. You know, I never imagined that it would be our story. So she sent us to this urologist and to see if we can get the count up at all. So we go to a urologist, and he puts Manny on 50 milligrams of Clomid a day and never brings him in for blood tests throughout the time that Manny was on Clomid for 3 months. One thing that's important to know about Clomid, if you're new to fertility stuff, is that if your testosterone as a man, because Clomid can be used for women or men, it's made for women, but it's not actually, I don't think, like approved for men, but can be used, if that makes sense. I know that's weird, but so anyway, if your testosterone is already at a good level and you take Clomid, it shoots it past that good level, and it shouldn't be, you know, too high either. Kind of like if a man takes, you know, steroids, it can actually hurt his count. So it's kind of like that if his testosterone isn't low. And they never told us if man had low testosterone or anything like that. They did one set of blood work and never told us the results. Were very quick and very annoying in the appointments, and we really did not have a good experience. And then you put him on Clomid, and I was reading on these forums, you know, that they should be bringing him in to blood test him while he's on this medication in case it has a adverse effect, you know. And so we go back 3 months later to the urologist, and he just comes in and says, we got your results for your new semen analysis, and the results say that there's nothing. That, you know, you don't have any. And I said, well, it doesn't make sense because we had 60,000. It's not a high number, but it's enough, you know, for a treatment. I knew IUI was out, but to have nothing, you know. And he said, you can go and get a biopsy and we can see if we can like get any out with, it was like a needle that you would get in and try to take them out and retract or whatever the word is. But if we can't do that, then it could be just permanent infertility, and there's nothing that we can do. He just got up and walked out. We still had to go to work that day. And thinking back to that day, the first day that she said that we would have to do IVF, you know, with 60,000, I remember walking out in a fog, like this is not real life, you know. I just wanted it to be just so easy. And the second time when they said, when the guy said there's nothing, you know, you may be permanently infertile, I just felt like I'd been punched in the stomach, you know. And looking at Manny's reaction, how hurt he looked, the world of fertility struggles is so tough. It's just so tough. And like I said, I wish I had my raw reaction, and I just don't. I just couldn't even think, you know. It was just like you were just punched in the face or in the stomach and the wind was knocked out of you. So it kind of traumatized us from going to the doctor, because I knew that that doctor had done the wrong thing. you know, I knew that he should have tested him. I just knew in my spirit that was the reason that we didn't get anything in the results. There was no sperm. And so it's a year later. You know, COVID happened this year. We kind of just tried naturally still, you know, kept trying, believing, you know, and month after month after month, it's devastation. And when you're experiencing that, it seems like every person around you is pregnant. You know, you're invited to every baby shower and everybody's just loving their life, and you have nothing against those people, but it's like you feel so forgotten by God. You feel so overlooked. You feel so unloved. You feel like this greatest desire that you have in your life is to be a parent, to have these desires fulfilled. And it's such a struggle for, you know, me right now. And then you look at somebody else who looks at somebody and gets pregnant, and it can be so frustrating. I take a pregnancy test every month. I take ovulation tests. We've done everything we can do naturally. I take pregnancy tests every month, and every month I cry my eyes out for a solid couple of days. And when period cramps start, it's like a horrible joke. It's like this horrible reminder that is just so painful, and it makes it so much worse. So we're here a year later, and after the COVID, you know, stuff, we're you know, emergency stuff was able to open back up again, we decided to go to IVF Plano. It's the place we went to. Dr. James Douglas is our doctor, and we've only been to one appointment this past Thursday. We told him about the Clomid situation, and he said that about 1/3 of men that take Clomid, it lowers their count. It can completely deplete it like that, and that generally it does come back. Also did a transvaginal ultrasound on me, and I got to see my follicles. I have 15 on the right side, you know, right now. I mean, probably obviously varies, but 15 on the right side, 12 on the left side, and you can see that I ovulated from my left side. I had no cysts or anything like that. And at my age, they said that I have a very good chance of, like, they see no reason why I wouldn't be able to, you know, like, carry a pregnancy and have a successful pregnancy, so that's good. But they did say that IVF with ICSI again is our only option. We're going to be sent to a urologist because we did another semen analysis, and we were terrified about this one because the last one was so traumatizing. We were just praying that God would just let there be something, give us a glimmer of hope, you know. And so we got the results back yesterday, I think, the day before. I think it was yesterday, and it was 20,000, which is really low, but they're there, you know, so it's not nothing. ICSI, you only need, they put the sperm directly into the egg, so you just need the one for each egg. So the good thing about it is, even though it's such a low count, the doctor said this isn't really the norm, but it's such a low count, but like the motility and everything is in the normal range, so that's odd. I'm wondering if it's a blockage or something, but he referred us to a urologist that mostly does fertility, because he said the other urologist probably does 99% everything else and 1% fertility, and he did things wrong. And thankfully, you know, we were able to get some back, that it wasn't permanent. Thank God. I would have just felt so horrible if we took that medication and it was permanent damage. I would have, oh man. But anyway, so we go to the urologist at the end of the month to see. He wants, the IVF doctor can do it at any count, but as long as we have some. But he wants us to get it to 15 million. It seems like a big jump, but that's how it can work with sperm. You know, day to day it can be different. So he wants us to get it to 15 million. We've never been in the millions, so I'm thinking maybe he's leaning towards a blockage of some kind. And we're gonna go to the urologist and see at the end of this month. So I will vlog that as much as possible. And really, now that we're actually doing something, you know, other than me just sitting here crying with negative pregnancy tests, I'm going to record more for this documentary. And you know, just record some raw stuff. Whether we get pregnant naturally or, you know, through IVF, I know that it's coming. I know that God is doing this. I have more hope today than I did last year, because I feel like I'm with the right team, and I think we're going to do this, and I think we can do this. I think God can do miracles in so many different ways, and so I'm ready for him to show us everything he's got, and I know that he's going to do it. So baby Awuku, we are coming for you. You are going to be soon. If we do IVF, I think it'll be in the next few months, and I'm going to take you along on that journey. Not very many people know right now, but they're going to. So we're just thankful for the opportunity now to have some treatment. Last year we were told it might not be a possibility, so we're looking at the positive. It's a horrible thing to go through, and I'm praying for all of you that are, but we're gonna get through it. And God has a baby and a bunch of babies for us, and they're gonna change the world, and the enemy is doing everything he can do to stop that. But Satan can't win. That's the one thing that God spoke to me when we left our heartbreaking appointments a year ago. Satan can't win.